I just got a phone call and then I couldn't get back live, and then the internet started acting up on the phone. So sorry about that. uh, Please come back, check us out here, and we'll continue the tour. We're doing this live walkabout. All right, so we're about here, right at the fountain, and we'll walk down to, like I said, this is the first pollinator's garden. Where I have most of my daffodils and tulips right here. Under the oak tree, we have a statue of Athena. Athena is the guardian of my garden. She's the goddess of war and science. Right underneath the oak tree, covered in Spanish moss. All right, so now we have the rose garden. And the rose garden, right closest to the house, is my hybrid tea rose garden. And then the one away from it would be the David Austin rose garden. So we'll just take a expansive look. Here we have a Japanese maple, bloodgood. All my David Austin roses closest to me, and further by the house would be the hybrid tea roses. We just replaced one of my conifer. Thank you, JV, for coming back. Love the landscape and how you place everything. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you for coming back. So we just replaced one of the Japonica, Cryptomeria japonica, which was right here, the black dragon, with another evergreen, but this one is a broadleaf evergreen. This is a magnolia, and this is a dwarf magnolia called Little Gem. Little Gem, the flower, just like the big magnolia, southern magnolia, is very floriferous. It blooms a lot of flower, and it's highly fragrant. It's a big 4-inch wide flower that we'll have here. And to start the rose garden, on the David Austin side is a Japanese maple. Of course, all the leaves are gone now. The Japanese maple lose their leaves in fall to winter. They go dormant, and then come spring, they'll bud back up, and they'll be beautiful again. So this one is waterfalls that we have here. Good morning to you, everyday life of an OC dish chick. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming back. And on the other side, you know, Japanese maple, which is the Crimson Queen. So this would be the other side of the yard, which is my rose garden. Against the house, hybrid tea. And on the right side is the David Austin roses. There isn't a lot of green here on this side right now. I plan to add more green because I have that on the David Austin side, I have that golden promise right there, but the golden promise is just gonna be a small bulb, just like it is right now. In the winters, it'll be more golden, and then it's gonna take on that bronze color, but it's fine, it's not dying or anything. That's just a color take on in the winter. So I need to get something taller to put right beside it, because this tree I have here is a Japanese maple, Kotonoito. So maybe, let me see, about right in here, get like a tall green tree, maybe another Italian cypress, or I might go with a arborvitae, like what's that one I have down there? Emerald green arborvitae, emerald green arborvitae. I'll go with that because it won't get as big. But greenery, another cryptomeria, and this one is Dragon Prince, and of course the Italian cypress right there. Roses are dormant. My herb right there, which is still green, is a rue. Lavender, some of them are kind of browning, struggling in the winter here. Some are doing fine. My arbor that separate both rose garden. Climbing on the arbor is 2 David Austin roses. We have on this side here, that's a Lady of Shalott, and this one's a Bathsheba. They're both yellow. And then with them, growing with it, we have clematis, a kind of a blue shade clematis. We have one lone survivor right there. And more roses. A Japanese maple here. This one is called Verna Jean. And you guys might know this story. I got this Japanese maple because it's a combination of my mom's name. My mom's name is Verna, and my favorite aunt, her name is Jean. So when I see this, I just had to have it, and it's surviving nicely. So that's Verna Jean, Japanese maple, which is a palmatum. The leaves looking like the 5 fingers on your palm. Okay? And they're red. So you have the palmatum Japanese maple, and if you have those fine leaf one, like on the opposite side, this is a red dragon. It's just called a dissectum. We have few leaves left, and you can see the leaves are more finely cut. It's called dissectum. It's a fine leaf cut Japanese maple, dissectum. The big leaf one are palmatum. And then you have a few other, like the full moon or the bat shape leaf one, or the pumpkin I should say, pumpkin leaf ones. Okay, at the end of Abertee Rose Garden, these are all asters, different type of aster that we have here. It's early in fall. They were just blooming in different shades of blue. Blue, lavender, kind of purple, you know. So right here, different type of aster right here. And this topiary is another dwarf Albertus spruce. And we shape it spiral shaped. At the end of the David Austin roadside, is a weeping redbud, a weeping redbud called Ruby Falls. And the newest addition is a yellow David Austin Rose Charles Darwin. Most of the David Austin on this side are yellow. Different type of yellow David Austin Rose, Poet's Wife, Golden Celebration. And we have a flower bundle right here, which is Sunflare. We plant lots of bulbs in here also, tulips and hyacinth. So in spring, we should have glorious bloom, as long as the squirrels don't dig them out. But keep our fingers crossed. So there we have it, guys. A quick walkabout of the garden. We just look at the rose garden. The roses closest to the house are my hybrid tea roses. And then to the right of that is the David Austin roses. I hope you like the tour. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Once you subscribe, you don't have to resubscribe to every video. You're subscribed to the whole channel. Please give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Questions or comment, please drop a line down below, and I'll answer every question. And just let me know ways we can improve the channel. Merry Christmas to you too. Everyday life of an OECD chick. Merry Christmas to everybody. Enjoy the winter. Please stay safe, stay healthy. Okay, Dolo, you like all the highlands that I have? Of course, I'm from an island, so I have to have lots of garden island, right? So thank you so much. Okay, JG, thank you for sharing this with us. It was my pleasure to share my garden. I really enjoy doing that. I forget this tree right here. This is another ginkgo, a ginkgo biloba. This one is a Princeton Sentinel. No, Princeton Century. I think it's Century, not Sentinel. Princeton Century. Okay. Okay, guys. A Merry Christmas. Stay safe. From my therapy garden to yours, this is Webster. We're playing the dirt. Help me to take away the hurt. And we had a quick walkabout tour of the garden with a few technical difficulties. But thank you for sticking with me. And we'll get through this and many more together. Okay, guys. Thanks a lot. God bless you. We'll have one more question. If you have any question, you can ask quickly before we go. And we'll go over that. Okay? Okay, somebody was asking if I can take a few questions before I go. So I'll just sit quickly. And any gardening question you have, especially a winter garden, or about my garden in particular, you can ask. Okay, let me go back to my trusty chair right here. Okay, so just close off. So I'll get your phone, baby. See any questions that you guys. Okay, take a few questions before we go. Or plans that I may have for the garden. Okay, earlier we showed the plans that I have for the garden, where I'll try a prairie garden, which would be something new, but I think it would be fitting, a prairie garden, because I have a pollinator's garden on one side and a pollinator's garden on the other side. So a prairie garden in between would be fitting, as it will welcome more butterflies, bees, pollinators. Plus it would be a nice little sanctuary, especially for wasps. Nobody like wasps around, but they're good pollinators too. You know, so we can have grass, keep the grass tall right in the middle there, and it's in the back, so the my HOA won't be mad at me because it will be in the back, and so we'll have, you know, tall grass and other wildflowers. You know, the cosmos, and other wildflowers. I'll just zinnia. I'll just get a bunch of wildflower seed, mix them up, and just sprinkle it there. And I'm trying a no dig method. So we can talk more about the no dig method in another video. If you're interested in that too, we can talk about that. Remember, um, if I don't answer the question, especially live, you know, you can always ask questions on Instagram at my.therapy.garden. You can ask any question you like about gardening on Instagram, and I'll also answer those. All right, any other question? Let's see what we have. All right, JG, thank you for sharing with us. Okay, my pleasure. Okay, greenery in the garden. You know, my favorite way of maintaining greenery in the garden is by conifers. You know, my cypress, my pines, my arborvitae, my moss here. You know, that's a great way of keeping green in the garden. Other evergreens are like camellia, which is great in the wintertime too, because camellia flower in the wintertime. Gardenia, which will have the nice green leaves on the gardenia. Lower petalum, which we have here, with the nice purple leaf. These will stay green, well, with the purple color all year. And of course, boxwood. Boxwood would always maintain their greenery, and also the holly, the Japanese holly. So that's ways in which we can have greenery or flower all year in the garden. For flowers, or Daphne, Deodore Daphne, or Camellia, you know, because there's flowers. And we show you on the east side garden allibores, which is lintel rose. They're also called Christmas rose. Okay, so that's how we can maintain greenery. And I was just looking at areas which I have holes in the garden, which I might put other greenery. And especially in the rose garden section. So we'll have, there's always room for more. So we'll make sure that we have greenery in the garden. Thank you, Eunice Stiffer. Thank you for joining us. Hi to you. I see any other question that we have here. Okay. Okay, you asked about mulching. Well, mulching is great, especially here in the south. Matter of fact, mulching is great everywhere because mulch suppress your weed. And in the colder areas, like your zone 7 and higher, well, it will be lower because you're getting colder. Your zone 7, 8, and lower, you know, you want to make sure that you have mulch because the mulch will keep the ground a little bit warmer than the temperature out. So your ground wouldn't freeze solid, so that you can maintain some moisture in the garden. The roots can be growing and thriving. Because in the wintertime, even though your flower won't be growing this way, underneath there's still life. So the roots are still growing and spreading out. Okay, so we want to maintain that. So the mulch in the garden, of course, it looks good because they give the garden a finished look. Plus, it maintains temperature and moisture in the garden. Okay, and what I use for mulch, I use pine straw, I use cypress mulch, and I also use the brown mulch, which you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much for this quick walkabout. thank everybody for joining me and for pushing through our technical difficulties. We had to actually stop and do a part two. But when you go live, things happen because we're in real time. But I appreciate you coming back and seeing the garden. Merry Christmas to you. Stay safe, and we'll see you 2021. It will be a great year. From my therapy garden to yours, this is Webster. We're playing the dirt and me to take away the hurt. Bye for now, guys. I'll see you in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye.